Here we are at Wallace Lane Farm, which is a campsite not too far away from Caldbeck. This is our home for this evening and it's our last night of this trip. And then unfortunately we're heading home and back to work. Anyway, let's enjoy the last day.
LeisureBit is the way to go with David, Rachel and Roxy. Let's hit the road and explore.
We pick up our trip arriving into the lovely village of Caldbeck in Cumbria, where we're looking for somewhere to park, and we should have just stopped here, but we decided to look for a better place to park, drove round the village, ended up going through narrow streets, over a bridge, got some funny looks, and ended up back parking where we started there. The village car park was full, so we just parked up there, and we're here in the village of Caldbeck. Rachel and Roxy are going to go and check out the pond. Cute little bridge. Footpath to Houck. We're off to see the Hawk Bobbin Mill. We're walking through a limestone gorge with a lovely little stream running through the bottom of it. How nice is that?
Look how pretty this is. It's an old Victorian bobbin mill.
Buildings in this gorge were part of a mill that made wooden bobbins for the textile industry. From 1857 until 1924, this was a noisy and busy place, employing up to 60 boys and men. Powered by a large water wheel, seasoned coppice wood was turned into bobbins. Nice to see things such as this being preserved. And there we have the top of the waterfall, just down there. How about that? The steps are pretty steep, but worth checking out.
When you get to the top of the gorge, there's a little path with a bridge you can go over to. There looks to be a guided foraging walk taking place as well. There's a guy talking to people about all the edible things they'll find on the route.
That's a lovely little wander. Just over half a mile return up to Bobbin Mill and then up the steps to the bridge and then a wander back. There are many other paths you can take here though and go on other walks much longer. And here we are, back at the mill. One of the outbuildings there. So that was Bobbin Mill. Did you think of Bobbin Mill, Rachel?
I really enjoyed that. It's not far from the village centre and it's really interesting. Love the waterfalls and love the Bobbin Mill.
Or the remains of.
Yeah.
Bobbin
Quite
Mill.
a lot left, mind.
There is. It's nice that they preserve these things as well. Otherwise there'd be nothing here for future generations to see and understand what happened all those many years ago. Well worth checking out. Not too long a walk. We'll head back to the village now. What a delightful little walk, and you just head down that way. How about that? the Muddy Duck at Caldbeck. We'll be back a little bit later at tea time. Isn't that good? Midtown Milk House. Milkshakes and fresh milk. Look, there's all different flavours. The book exchange phone box. £50 for 2 shots. There's the village store. There's even a petrol and diesel pump. How about that? You don't see that very often, do you? Home and gifts. What a lovely little village. Very quaint. Churchyard. St Kendican's Church. Got the Watermill Cafe, the Wool Clip, Caldbeck's Crafters Cooperative and the Little Crooked Tree.
Not very often you see these signs, toads crossing ahead, and what I noticed was all of the drains have got mesh on so that the toads don't fall down them. How cute's that?
The car park's just over the road there and it is free. Very popular. Here we are, back at where we parked up. Now let's crack on and go to the campsite.
On arrival at the site, before heading to your pitch, you check in at reception, which also contains a small shop with lots of bits and pieces in. Very handy. We were also given a leaflet with a map of the site and some other useful information before heading to our pitch.
We're on a hard standing pitch. The pitch we're on comes with a 16 amp electrical hookup. We are on a fully serviced pitch. We're on pitch number 96 and it cost £42.50 for one night for 2 adults and a dog, and it is bank holiday weekend at Wallace Lane Farm.
Just opposite reception is a chemical disposal point and a water tap. Little sand point and the water tap. Toilets. Outdoor pot wash area. And it looks like there's 3 individual rooms. More toilets and showers located up steps to the right of reception. Toilet sinks and showers at the end. Useful information. There's some touring pictures behind me and the static and lodges across the top. There's a large waste and recycling area and there's a laundry. Couple of washing machines and dryers and some fridges and a freezer. Tumble dryers are £1 for 20 minutes. There's an iron, there's a kettle, indoor pot wash area. Looks a nice site, and considering it's bank holiday weekend, it doesn't seem over noisy. Although I do think people are still arriving. It's a dog walk right round the perimeter of the campsite. Who's trip-tropping over my bridge?
Along the top of the site there's these nice lodges. It's the fairy garden. Isn't this cool? There's little doors for the fairies.
The fairies even have their own post box.
This campsite is absolutely massive when you keep going on. The area for the touring and the hard standing pitches is very small in comparison. There's another field here, massive, with the toilet blocks there. It just keeps going and going. I think the pitches over there that you can see the caravan and the campervans at are the ones that have the hot tubs on. So nice.
Wallace Lane is a family-run campsite. They have a variety of different accommodation here. There's statics, there's lodges, there's cottages, there's campervan, motorhome, hard standing, but there's also some huge grass pitches for tents.
Another toilet block there. Certainly plenty of toilet blocks. I suppose you need it with this size of site. It's very deceiving that. How big the site actually is when you go for a wander.
Welcome groups and also welcome fire pits. So as you may have seen for the walk around before, in the tent area there's a lot of friends and family all pitching together, and that's fine, it's encouraged, as are fire pits.
And here we are, and we're now heading for tea.
Hey, more. The lady was saying, because she said, you've got a dog.
Looks nice. Oh, look at that. That looks lovely. It's bank holiday Sunday morning and we're about to hit the road. Unfortunately, heading home to a pleasant night's sleep at Wallace Lane Farm.
It's beautiful. We've stopped off for breakfast at the A66 cafe.
Nice way to finish off the holiday. Did you enjoy your breakfast?
That was absolutely gorgeous, and what a brilliant way to end the holiday.
What have you thought of Wallace Lane Farm, Rachel?
I've had a nice time. It's not what I expected. At first sight, I thought it was smaller. It's a lot bigger than I first thought. Lots of people having lots of fun, great facilities, and great to see my dad and Sheila. Enjoyed it, and I loved the alpacas. What about you?
Yeah, interesting. Slightly different to what I expected as well. And when you first come in, it seems quite a small site, but as soon as you go through, as Rachel said, it just opens up into a huge site. We are here on the bank holiday, so you get a slightly different vibe to it. I'm pleased we were pitched where we are, which is in the quieter bit. Obviously, you get a bit of through traffic coming through. And absolutely glorious views across that way to the Scottish Hills, and we're very high up, and we even have a llama watching us at the moment. How about that? Or an alpaca. It's an alpaca, not a llama. And now they're coming to see us. They obviously think they're going to get fed or something, don't they? But it's time for us to hit the road now and get on our way, and that concludes this trip. So join us next time for a brand new adventure. Thank you for watching.
Hope you've enjoyed it.
We will catch you for the next bit. Bye.